I only have 30 seconds left, so let me ask just whoever would like to jump in on this. Who has access? There was a comment about the fact that both of the exchanges have the ability to download this data.
Yeah, I'll handle that from
Okay.
the consortium side. All their 23 SROs, 23 exchanges, plus FINRA as the SROs, plus the SEC. Each of them have regulatory responsibilities under the federal securities laws. Each of them will have the ability to access the database to conduct their surveillance. They all conduct surveillance now, and they'll have access to the CAT database in whatever manner they feel appropriate to discharge their regulatory responsibilities. There will be controls in place, as Shelley mentioned, as to proper training and access and regulatory oversight over who does have access and how they use it. But its stated purpose, both in the rule and in the plan, is to help each of the regulators discharge their regulatory obligations.
All right, thank you. I'm going to probably send some questions, Steve, to further elaborate on that. Senator Brown.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Boland, please describe for us the market oversight and enforcement benefits of the consolidated audit trail for the SEC and FINRA, and how does this improve upon current systems?
So one of the biggest differences and improvements over current systems, it will be all in a central database that is reported by a 8 a.m. on T+1. It will include data including all the equities exchanges and options exchanges. So today we have similar constructs in the equity markets to what CAT ultimately is, but not the options market. So bringing the options data in is a significant difference from what we have today. In addition, having the CCID and the ability to understand if the same entity is trading or trader is trading across multiple broker-dealers. So those are two of the biggest improvements and differences from what we have today.
Mr. Simon, you want to add to that?
I think that the main benefits are the first name and CAT consolidated. It'll be the first time there'll be a consolidated audit trail of all the information from all the securities markets. Currently, as I mentioned before, each of the SROs has the obligation to conduct surveillance and regulation of their market, and they're doing it from separate databases. This will be consolidated. This will be the first time that we have end-user information, although in a masked way through the CCID, which will enhance regulation, let you move a lot more quickly in your surveillance obligations. And thirdly, it's the first time we're going to have the life cycle of an entire order included in the system so that you can follow an order from the time it's entered through execution and clearing. So there'll be a lot of benefits to the regulators and how they use this data.
Ms. Boland, you were at FINRA 10 years ago when the flash crash disrupted our market and undermined investor confidence. Comment on the impact that the flash crash had on working families' confidence then, and still what kind of impact it had on their confidence in using the markets to save and invest for their futures.
So that is definitely an issue that has broad impacts. Being here representing FINRA CAT today, that might be FINRA, the parent, and any of the other SROs might be able to more elaborate on that a little bit more. But having a market, knowing that the market can go down and so much value can be lost in such a short period of time, I think other steps have been taken in addition to CAT that prevent those wild swings, so to speak, like market-wide circuit breakers, limit up, limit down, things that have been put in place to try to prevent.
That's what you're saying from your perspective. What are people that are trying to save for their future? What impact did that have in their confidence back then, and what kind of residue of that still remains?
So I think, just my personal view on it is that, having uncertainty about the, around